I know, okay, and I brought up a good point to you.
You did. That was a
so
great
if you
point.
guys are just tuning in, we're doing our review of the spoiler review of Rise of Skywalker. So if you have not seen the movie, please click off and watch this later. We will be talking spoilers, okay? So, and I got my man Warren for this one.
Gotta come through and support.
Which you haven't seen the movie, but you don't mind talking about it. So.
No, I do not.
I'm interested to hear what you have to say, because when we talk about, I'm glad, you know what I mean. But going off what we were just talking about, right? So I mentioned to you, like, you know, hey, people don't like Kylo Ren because he's whiny, you know, this and that. But if you think about it, bro, just think about it, because I remember me and you talked about this.
Yeah.
Luke and Anakin are kind of whiny, dude. You know what I mean? The first time we ever see Luke, he's like, I want to go to Tossie Station to pick up power converters. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? His uncle's probably like, what, bro? Like, slap me in here, man. You know what I mean? Like, and then Anakin's like, I killed the women and the children too. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, they're both, all, like, the Skywalkers are kind of just whiny ass motherfuckers.
And then, like, what was my response?
Fuck.
I was like, you know, you're right, but I was like, I love Luke though.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I gave you, you know what I mean? You're right, but I just, you know, it's Luke.
And it's weird because, like, with this movie, I feel like Adam Driver, like, he must have been filming something in between this movie or, like, in the middle of it.
I'm sure
like,
he was. The dude's busy.
It seemed like a lot of scenes, like, we'll get into that in a little bit, but I'm going to start off with one of my favorite scenes from the movie, bro. You're going to love it when you see it, okay? This scene. Bro, Palpatine is sitting in his throne, rejuvenated Palpatine, okay? And he just starts fucking shooting lightning up into the sky, and he's, like, disabling the whole Resistance fleet. Bro, like, when that scene plays, you're like, what the fuck? Like, that was fire, dude.
I'm sure.
Like, the movie has a lot of redeeming qualities, it has a lot of good content, and that was one of them. To me, it was like...
I trust J.J. Abrams, man.
He puts on a show, bro. He can put on a show. Mm-hmm. And when Palpatine's like, and, like, the whole thing's just getting, like, and, like, Rey's just sitting there, like, you know, I'm like, damn, dude, this is so fucking fire, dude.
When you say rejuvenated, what do you mean?
So,
still look like an old fucker.
Well, because when you first see him in the movie, a lot of the stuff I'm saying we already talked about in part one, but I'll go over it again. But when you first see him, you know, Kylo's going to the planet Exegol, which is as like one of the original Sith homeworlds.
Yeah.
He goes there, you know, he goes down into this little cavern area with a bunch of statues, and, like, you know, Palpatine's like, I created Snoke, and, like, all that stuff. It's exposition, basically, to give you, like, Snoke's backstory and all that stuff. But then when he sees the Emperor's like, looks like a fucking zombie or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you know, like, basically he says, like, the line from episode 3, the dark side is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. And everybody's like, you know. So even at the end, he's, like, raised up on this mechanical arm thing, and he just looks like a fucking dead corpse talking. And then, like, so Rey and Kylo are like a force dyad, and he drains their force energy, and then he becomes, you know, the Emperor. It looks like episode 3 Emperor. Wow. He gets his yellow eyes back again, like, his arms are, you know, his skin's not all, like, cracky and zombie looking like.
Interesting.
So that's what I was talking about. So in part of the movie, so the character Ben Solo, which is Kylo, he saves Rey, okay? And then, you know, Anakin turns bad because he thinks that's the only way to save Padme. And I think it was kind of like a reversal. So Ben kind of turns good because Rey said, I'll only walk with Ben Solo. She says that to him in the movie, like, hey, I thought I was going to be walking with him, not Kylo. So I thought it was kind of a cool thing. And you could say, like, oh, you know, he finished what Vader started, which was trying to save a loved one from dying. And that's what Ben Solo ended up doing, which I thought that was cool, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you said you liked a lot of things about this movie. I told you from the beginning, the reason I haven't... for those who don't know, the reason I haven't seen this movie yet is because I'm just gonna wait a little bit. But I was very disappointed with what Rian Johnson, the director of the Last Jedi, did with my beloved Star Wars. So
trust me, dude.
But I love J.J. Abrams though, and I love The Force Awakens. So
I feel like JJ was stuck in a hole, basically, because...
He got put in one.
Because a lot of this movie is trying to write around The Last Jedi.
It's trying to fix what has been fucked up. And
he literally says in the movie, like, the Holdor maneuver where she light speeds through one of those things? He's like, why don't we do that? And he's like, we can't do that. That's 1 in a million. Or, like, when Rey throws her lightsaber and, like, Force Ghost Luke catches it. you shouldn't treat a Jedi weapon like this. Like, bro, you literally threw it last movie. They're trying to write a... Sorry, you know what I mean? And, like, Snoke, like, I created Snoke. Because, like, oh, my God.
Yeah, but it's like you said, when you're trying to fix... When you're trying to fix something that's been fucked up, you gotta fix it first. And then go. Instead, not instead of like, if it wasn't messed up, he could have just concentrated on making the best movie possible.
Yeah.
But he had to concentrate on two things: digging Star Wars out of a hole, and then making it a good package to end the trilogy.
Yeah.
And like Rian Johnson,
I know you'd be proud of Lando's character. I thought Lando had a really good role. I'm really surprised that Billy D. Williams, like, it felt like...
Billy D.
Right, Justin? I don't know if you agree, but Lando, just when he first starts talking to the last scene of the movie, it felt like I'm seeing Lando again.
Old school.
Because you know, like in episode 7 when you see Han, hey kid, like it's almost like, okay, we know it's Han Solo, and we know it's Leia, because Leia's like, Kylo.
Yeah.
I'm Leia, like, no disrespect to Kate Fisher, I love Princess Leia, but she does talk like that, and you notice a lot of older actors like Al Pacino when he gets older.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you know? Like, it's like, it's not like their younger voice.
Yeah.
Billy D. Williams, bro, it felt like Lando. Hey, Chewie, you big fur. Like, it's just, it was cool to see that, bro. I was like, damn, that's my guy, Lando, bro.
Yeah, he's always been a great man. He's always been a great one of my favorite characters actually from back in the day.
The way Palpatine died, I didn't like that at all. I honestly wish JJ would have made that scene longer. Like, what about making it longer affects your movie? It doesn't.
No.
The fight scene could have been longer, and I think Palpatine should have died in a different way. And for me, I want to ask JJ, like, bro, what were you thinking? Like, were you not thinking, like, hey, he probably thought, like, oh, we don't got enough time. Like, no, you did have enough time, bro. You should have just made it a little longer.
I would even ask, why kill him? Like, why... Like, I asked you before, like, what is the... I want to know... Obviously, we're not going to, but we can all speculate. But what's the plan now?
I think the plan...
Obviously, we know what's not the plan, and which is to stop making Star Wars movies, right? I mean, they're not going to do that.
I think
they were so quick to want to make this last the Skywalker saga
that they're just like, yeah. Well, okay, so one, if you read I've been reading online some of the visual dictionary stuff for the Rise of Skywalker. The Red Troopers, which were the Sith Troopers, they had names for each group. One was the Revan group. They had a bunch of other like Sith Lord names throughout the movie that they just didn't say in the movie. And so they kind of canonized a bunch of the Knights of the Old Republic stuff. So I'm thinking that they're going to do a Knights of the Old Republic. Like, I don't know if you ever played that game. I played it on the PC growing up. One of my favorite games of, like, all time. Like, that game is just amazing to me. So I think they're going to go back and do a Knights of the Old Republic. Because in the movie, Palpatine mentions that, like, he's every Sith Lord that's ever existed is inside of him. And he mentions to Rey, which, bro, fire as fuck. I actually said a theory on Reddit, like, 150 days ago, about how I think the Emperor uses Force essence transfer. Like, he transfers his essence into other people, And he says that in the movie. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, so when Darth Bane... So basically, like, Darth Bane makes the rule of two, and, like, his whole goal is to have a master and apprentice. The master gets killed by the apprentice, so he can force transfer his essence into the apprentice, get another apprentice, and that's how you live forever. You just keep doing that.
Yeah.
So they could go back and show the beginning of that. They could do a bunch of stuff that's, like, tied in with the Rise of Skywalker, so...
Hopefully they do.
Wedge makes a cameo in the movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's, like, in one scene, though. I mean...
Really?
Yeah, because he's like, hey, Lando, I'm here. I get the gunner ship. I was like, hey, cool. I didn't actually think about this just then, but... Lando, Luke, Leia, and Han are all in the movie, and one of the biggest complaints people had about this trilogy was how the fuck do you not have those people on screen together at the same time? Think about it. Han, Leia, and Luke never got a scene together. That's one of the biggest fucking blunders of this trilogy.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously, like... And actually, my friend Tyler is the one that actually, like, kind of told me, like, hey, look, they're all four in the same movie again. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but bro,
no,
like,
I agree. Now
how
that
do you
bring
not
that up,
have the fucking big three on like at least one scene?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say when you make The Force Awakens, right? Let's not make Luke on a fucking island, right? You know what I mean? we start off the movie with like the movie when they.
I would have ruined the whole episode 8 because that whole entire movie was shot on that island with them.
I know. I see what you're saying, but like I guess when they first wrote The Force Awakens, it was mainly it wasn't centered around Rey and them. Like, Rey and them were still in the movie, but, like, Han, Luke, and Leia had a bigger presence in the movie. And they were like, hey, guess what? It kind of overshadows Rey and Finn, who no one literally gives a fuck about.
That's what I was about to say. No, who cares about...
So they rewrote it to where, like, the new characters...
Why did they shouldn't have rewrote it?
You know what I mean? They shouldn't have, dude.
They shouldn't have. It really should have been... It really, in my opinion, it should have been about... If it's called the Skywalker Saga,
yeah,
it should have been about Skywalker. And, they had Mark Hamill on board to do whatever they wanted to do.
You mentioned Luke should have had a son? He should have.
Right.
It's missed opportunities, man.
Missed opportunities. Yeah. Well, fans, for some reason, people don't always listen to the fans. When they do, I love it when they do. I think some of the best stuff gets made
by
when
fans.
People actually listen to the fans, Like, as far as, like, for an example, not to get off topic, but like the It 2 cast.
Yeah.
Like, remember how we talked about, like, damn, like that cast was so good. Well, a lot of those people that they cast, like, fans were like
telling them to cast.
Telling like, look, dude, like, look, Jessica Chastain, man, she looks just like her. You know what I mean? And then like they understood.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, like, people should listen. Like, fans do sometimes know what they're talking about.
I think Star Wars is one of the only IPs in existence that is so generational.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, someone like your parents are a fan of the original trilogy. Mm-hmm. Me and you are a fan of the prequels.
Right.
Like, we grew up during the prequels.
We grew up during that, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't grow up during the original trilogy. Like, our parents did.
Our parents did, yeah.
We grew up during the prequels, and then these new kids grew up during the sequels. And, like, the Clone Wars cartoon, the Rebels cartoon.
That's kind of crazy if you think about it.
It's, like, mad generational, dude.
It is.
So how do you please, like, 4, 5 generations of people?
The race pods. What are those called again?
The pod racers.
The pod racers, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, like, Jar Jar.
Jar Jar Binks.
Which, when I was a kid, I loved those movies.
I did.
And then I grow up and people are shitting on them on Reddit. They're shitting all over the internet. The prequels suck. I'm like, what? Revenge of the Sith is, like, one of my favorite Star Wars movies of all time.
Yeah.
So when I see people shitting on them, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It made me hella sad, bro. I'm like, what?
I mean, I think that's why, like, ultimately...
George made it for kids, bro.
I think that's why he got out of it, because, like, whatever he did, the fans were... not happy.
He did say that, though.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah. He's yeah, you guys gotta suck.
Like, whatever, But it would be nice to have seen his vision for what he...
and Disney kind of fucked it up, too, because Bob Iger's like, hey, thank you for the script for 789. We're not going to use any of it.
Right.
And we're not legally obligated to use any of it.
Right.
What they should have done, bro, Justin, tell me if this is a bad business idea. They used the scripts for 789, and if fans still don't like it, Disney could have been like, well, guess what, guys? That was George's stuff, and we were just trying to stay true to what George's vision was.
Exactly.
And if you don't like it, guess what? The new stuff's going to be us. That's like the easiest scapegoat. Like, hey, you didn't like the sequel trilogy? Guess what? George made that shit.
It's easy to do that. Like, nowadays, fans don't care. Like, remember when they came out with the new Halloween?
Yeah.
You saw the newer Halloween, right? And they were like... Alright, all those other ones, that shit wasn't real. Only the first one was real. And we thought of it like that, and we went in, and it was dope.
Yeah. It was different, too. Different.
Fans just want some good shit. Like, like that. Now that you're able to do that, like, and I told you, I think that may happen. With Star Wars. I think that in the future, somebody might be like, okay.
I think they should reboot it animated-wise. I don't think they should reboot it live-action, but that's just me, so that's...
Yeah.
One of the things I didn't like about the movie, but I did at the same time, was Leia's death, bro. Like, the way they... So, like, she just, like, I get it, because Carrie Fisher's dead, so they were only working with, like, certain amount of scenes for her.
That's it.
Right? So then, like, it's like, oh, she's like, Ben! Her Carrie Fisher voice, like, Ben! And, like, Kylo turns around, and then Rey fucking, whoop, right there. So it's like, hey, what? And then, like, at the end, she disappears when he disappears, like... I get it, and I know that they only had limited scenes to shoot with her. It's just like at the same time, it's like, what, really?
A little cringy.
It was a little cringy, but like I get it, and she died like in like, like, and I already mentioned the Last Jedi jabs.
Yeah.
Like there was a bunch of those, like, hey, You know, why are you throwing this sacred weapon like this? Like, bro, what? Like, that was funny to hear that they actually did that for the movie.
Yeah, because it was like directly him responding to criticism of the second.
Yeah, I know, and like a lot of people didn't agree with me on this either, and I actually want to hear your take on this, bro. This movie had, like, besides the voice at the end, has no Anakin. How, again, JJ, how the fuck do you fuck that up, dude? I know people like, it wasn't needed. Bro, there's a scene in the movie, right, where, and people say that too much fan service is bad, right? I don't think so.
I don't get how that could be.
I don't get it either. Like, what? Fan service is bad? Which I get it. But a fan service part that needed to happen, that I felt needed to happen, is when Kylo's on the Death Star 2, and and Rey's leaving, he turns around and he hears a voice, and it's Han. And I like that part of the movie. It surprised me, because if you would have told me before that was happening, I wouldn't have liked it.
Right.
Like, what? Han's coming back as a ghost? Or what are you talking about? But it should have been Anakin, dude. It should have been Force Ghost Anakin. And the Kylo turns around, he's like, hey, like, what are you doing, bud? You know what I mean? Like, having that grandpa talk with you.
But it was Han. Huh?
Yeah, it was Han, which I didn't mind that part either. It was actually like, okay, this makes sense for his redemption.
Yeah.
He gets the same opportunity that he had in Episode 7, but instead of stabbing his dad, he throws the lightsaber into the ocean.
Right.
Which is, I get it. That's cool for the trilogy. I just kind of wish, even at the end, like, Anakin wasn't even in the end either. Like, what? You guys didn't want, like, he didn't cry. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, when they made this trilogy, they were like, hey, no one likes the prequels, so let's just not mention anything about the prequels. That's not true. It's generational.
Yeah.
So people like us, we're like older now. So when you make the sequel trilogy, mention the stuff that we know previously, because that's what we love.
Right.
You guys just completely fucking, not only did you shit on Luke's character, you shit on this.
Shit on him.
It kind of is disrespectful too. Like, if you're going to bring the Emperor back and undo the first 6 movies, right? Mm-hmm. Why not bring Anakin back? Why not bring him back either? So you're cool with bringing the Emperor back, right, and you're cool with shitting all over the first 6 movies, but let's not bring Anakin back? And he says a line to Rey, find balance like I did. Or like, bring balance back to the Force like I once did. Mm-hmm. Okay, Disney. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. Like, you put that in there because, people are going to get mad that you shit all over Anakin's legacy, so...
Right.
Yeah. You actually asked me a question, too, like, hey, are the Skywalkers gone forever, or the Sith gone forever? I don't think either both answers to those questions, I say no. They're not gone forever. Disney would be stupid to have the Skywalkers gone forever, and Disney would be stupid to have the Sith gone forever.
I agree.
Let's say in the future you make a movie where this guy is obsessed with the culture of the Sith and he tries to bring them back, or he tries to, like, copycat them. Having the Skywalkers gone too, like,
They are Star Wars. Like,
they are. And if you think about it, the sole survivor of the whole 9 movies is a Palpatine.
Right.
A Palpatine is the one that survives.
Right.
And the girl's like, what's your name? She's like, Rey. Turns around, Skywalker. It's like, I guess, I mean, I get it, because I guess George Lucas said, he's adopted a couple kids, mm-hmm, and his big thing is like, hey, family doesn't have to be blood related,
right,
you can be accepted into a family that's not yours, and I get that part, but it works if Ben lives.
Right.
Ben doesn't live. There's no Skywalkers left, and I've already told you my theories on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's probably gonna get reincarnated or come back in the future. So yeah.
I definitely think, like, what you were talking about when you were talking about some of the animated movies, of the Star Wars animated ones, or even the literature. I think they should go towards that direction. Princess Leia having a daughter, Luke having a son. I thought stuff like that would.
Oh, in the cool. Legends continuity.
In the Legends, yeah, because that's legacy.
Yeah, and Disney, and then the president of Disney comes out and says, the president of Lucasfilm, sorry guys, she comes out and says, oh, there's no source material to go off of. There wasn't really source material to go off of, which angered fans hella bad. If you go on Reddit and like YouTube, it angered the fuck out of people. So what? You don't have source material? What are you talking about? There's hella legends like the EU, the old EU, mm-hmm, that you could have went off of, which they clearly have gathered stuff from it. Because in Rebels, they brought Grand Admiral Thrawn back. Mm-hmm. They started cherry picking all this stuff. I'm like, right, so what is she talking about? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something that I kind of wish they would have mentioned, at least in the movies, they're on Mustafar in the beginning.
Yeah.
And when he's redoing his helmet, they're in Vader's castle. They just don't tell you that. That would have been cool, dude. Like, hey, I'm in my grandfather's castle. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, in the beginning, you see him, like, fucking Kylo Ren just lay and work to all these people. and like he's
They don't let you know though where he's.
Yeah, because I guess there's a video game for the VR called Vader Immortal, and when you go back to Mustafar, there's a level with Mustafar in it. It's like Mustafar is healing itself. It's not just a fire planet with lava anymore. Like it's like it used to be like a thriving planet,
right? And
it's starting to heal.
Okay.
So you can see some of that in the Vader Immortal game, and then when you see it like that, yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. So at the end, Reylo, it's not Reylo, which it is Reylo, but Rey and Kylo kiss at the end. And I was gonna, I wanted your thoughts on that. Like, did you think 7 and 8 built up towards that, or like, do you think it was earned? Like, was that an earned kiss, or was it just like, hey, let's just give the Reylo fans what they want?
I think that sounds like just give the Reylo fans what they want.
Really? So you don't think in 7 and 8 they? I'm having a hard time with that because me and Emily argue about that a lot. Well, we talk about it a lot. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that, hey, was there any build up to this? She says no. She's like, there was no build up to a romantic relationship.
To me, I didn't really see it that way. There's a million ways. There's different ways you could see it, though. I mean, I agree with Emily.
That there was no build up to it?
I didn't see it that way.
Yeah, me either. She says, oh, there was more of a romantic build up with Finn and Rey. And I'm like, not really. Kinda, yeah.
Kinda.
And because in this movie, Finn's like, hey, I have something to tell you, Rey. I have something to tell you. People thought he was going to say, I love you. But right. JJ actually came out and confirmed that he was trying to tell Rey he thinks he's Force sensitive. Right. So, I mean, if JJ doesn't say that, that makes sense too. So
Right.
It was just weird seeing that on screen, but it was cool because he was smiling for once, and he was finally one of the scenes that got me, bro, is when he's holding Rey, she's dead, and he's looking around for help, and there's nobody. Right. You could tell Adam Driver's acting was really good.
He's a great actor.
He's looking around I need help, and that's when one of the Force Ghosts should have came. You know what I mean? Yeah, sorry. I guess people you're just a fan, but
no.
I probably could write a good Star Wars movie, dude. So that, you know what I mean? Let me know. But fuck, dude. You know what I
mean? I think that, dude, they need people that genuinely know about the lore to start inputting good ideas, because a lot of these directors and stuff, they don't all the time, sometimes they haven't even heard of what they're directing. They'll do a comic book movie and never have read the comic. Oh, I didn't want to read it because I didn't want it to mess up my style.
Yeah, it's it's a bunch of 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds that drink Starbucks every day and jack off in the office.
What are you doing, bro?
We should do this, because technically, if they were to be cousins or brother and sister, in the Legends continuity, that would have made more sense for episode 7 and 8. Right. But having them kiss and shit is I was okay. Yeah. If they live, it makes the scene better. Yeah. If Ben lives. Yeah, but if he doesn't, it's and me and Justin kind of talked about this too. She's dead, he kisses her, they look at each other, boom, then he dies. It was so quick on screen, dude. It was and you're what? That did what? There was no it was elongated, bro. It was just
it was just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, she's dead, he holds her. He uses the Force to revive her back from death. Right. They look at each other, they kiss, they smile. He dies. She gets up and leaves. It's They did one thing right though, bro, and they put Tatooine at the end. They had to do it. They had to put Tatooine as the last planet you see in the Skywalker saga.
That was the birth.
Yeah, that's the birthplace of of a lot of stuff. Yeah. Anakin came from that planet. Luke was raised on that planet. Right. C-3PO was created on that planet.
So much legacy there.
Obi-Wan lived there.
Yeah.
And you see that's the part I think they fucked up on too, is because at the end when it should have been the Force ghost of Anakin, Luke, and Leia staring at Rey.
That would have been dope.
Since she's a Skywalker, right?
That would have been dope.
Yeah, and they didn't put Ben in the end either, which again I don't think Ben's dead. That's why.
They never showed Yoda again.
Yoda's not at the end.
This whole trilogy, they never showed Yoda.
Oh, he was an 8.
Which
Last Jedi.
He was in the Last Jedi?
Bro, yes, yeah. I'll show you this after. Yeah, Yoda was in the Last Jedi. Yeah.
Well, how did they show him in the Last Jedi? I don't know.
So Luke is on Octo, and he's about to go burn down the Force tree.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, okay, I remember.
And then Yoda comes out of nowhere and calls lightning from the sky and burns it. Yeah.
Okay.
So like that's what the end should have been, and I don't know what you know. What I mean, like I guess we can nitpick all day.
Yeah.
The movie's good. It's not great. It's not bad.
You liked it, and I'm sure you're gonna buy it.
Yeah, and it's not bad. It's not great. It's like just in the middle for me. Yeah, of course I'm gonna buy it.
Of course.
And somebody in the comments gave me no, they didn't give me shit. Whatever they did actually. In my last video, I had put Rise of Skywalker at 5 and New Hope at 6. And they were like, "Oh, you must be high for saying that the New Hope was boring." My boy Naruto said that. And he kind of made me think, like, I don't want to be the type of person that goes back on my word, but those two spots will be forever the spots I struggle with.
Yeah.
Next week I might put New Hope at 5 and Rise of Skywalker at 6, and I'll probably just keep like switching those forever.
Yeah.
That's like the only two I can ever see myself always switching my mind on.
Right.
And I do take that back, bro. It's not the New Hope's not boring. It's just like it was made in the 70s, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So someone like me isn't meant to watch it and be like, "Oh my god!" Like obviously, I fell in love with Star Wars because of that movie.
Yeah.
But I'm not like sitting there like
that one's not from your era.
Yeah, I mean, what about you? I mean, you think it's not? It has its boring parts, but it's not.
Yeah, no, like they, I understand what you're saying. They're a little bit easier on my eyes than they are on yours, but you know, we have a couple years of age difference. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, I'm like the 33 or 28.
27.
27.
Yeah.
So a few years. So a little bit easier on my eyes, but I see what you're saying to where it's like, dude, like the, you know, as filmmaking is concerned, it's just been such a long period of time. The way the movies are made are different. It's like, I mean, come on, you know, of course you're going to respond to like, you know, the Star Wars of like the, what is the one that you said that it was your favorite?
The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, like the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that forever will be my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah, some of, you know, but I can say I'm a fan of the original as a whole. The 3,
4, 5, and 6. Yeah.
You know, as a whole, as a unit, I think those are my favorite package. Like
favorite trilogy.
Those are my favorite like trilogy.
Yeah, and you know, because George, so like people will be like, well, in the originals, they never told you what the Emperor was from. They never told you like stuff about him. Like, yeah, because you didn't need to.
Yeah.
Well, going into 7, 8, 9, we have fucking 6 movies of backstory. You better fucking explain where Snoke came from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't have to explain to us where Palpatine came from. He just showed up in 6, and no one said anything about that. It's like, yeah, again, there's not 6 movies of backstory.
Yeah.
Attached to it. So it's like, you know what I mean? People, yeah. Before we go today, let me pull this up real quick. This is something me and you are both, you know. Let me pull this up. Oh my god, I really. That Cardi one had me die.
Go roll up real quick and show everybody that Cardi B one. Somebody said this who Cardi B looked like without makeup.
Damn, she really did.
That's fucked up.
Alright, so guys, before we end the show today, I'm actually gonna link this below. It's for GoFundMe. Me and you, I'm a dog guy, you're a dog guy.
Absolutely.
This is to help with Bandit's medical expenses. This is from Talia? Yep. Talia Salter. That's the person organizing the fundraiser. So I'm just gonna give like a quick brief, you know, overview. She's like, yeah, I don't like asking for help, but I need help. Bandit has been my baby for 9 years now. She is not just a pet. She is family. One of my kids. Yeah, that's how I think of my dogs.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, I realized something was wrong with her. She was lethargic and didn't want to get out of bed. Sounds like me. When I finally got her to get out and move, she was in an obvious amount of pain. I took her to the doctors immediately. She could barely sit up and had 104 temperature. Damn, dude, that must suck for dogs. She has an obvious infection. They weren't able to do much for her because I didn't have the money to properly get her examined. Fuck, that sucks, dude.
Yeah.
We're
really
hella whack for that, bro.
We are.
They helped me with antibiotics and told me to hope for the best. What? Dude, America's ass, dude. But they also told me to prepare for the worst. I'm not prepared at all. Today she woke up unable to use her back legs. I rushed her to the emergency room. They gave me an outline for the minimum, which will be over $400. And it's Christmas. I don't have the money right now, so I'm asking for help. Anything will help. I can't lose my dog. Yeah, basically, guys, if you're able to donate to this GoFundMe, I'm gonna link it below.
Right.
Me and Warren would super appreciate it if you guys, donated to this, because, stuff like this, people shouldn't have to get told like, hey, hope for the best.
Right.
We live in America, bro. We're the best country in the world.
Nobody should get turned down from getting their pets' health care, or their kids, which in this case her dog is one of her kids. It's tough to see, but she's right. If you go with your dog and your dog needs a surgery, they will print you out a paper of the cost, and if you don't have any money, your dog will die.
It sucks, bro. Why can't they just bill you after, you know what I mean, and let it hit your credit or something?
I know. But if you guys could look at the link below, we'd appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
We both identify because we're huge dog people.
And I can't imagine going through what this woman's going through right now.
Either. So, already having kids, and it's Christmas as well.
Bandit looks beautiful too. That's a nice looking dog.
Oh yeah, super cute.
Yeah, like Black Warren said, guys, if you guys can click on the link below, anything, bro. This lady probably wouldn't even care if you donated $1. Just a thought.
Anything.
Before we go, you have anything else to say? Like, are you excited to see the Rise of Skywalker now, since we just talked about it, or?
Yeah, absolutely more excited to see it after hearing you talk about it. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy. I can already tell I'm gonna enjoy some parts of it.
Yeah, you will.
But as far as what I'm looking out for,
Snow Mandalorian.
Soon, this Mandalorian is hitting. It's fire. It's getting me excited, like the old Star Wars did.
And we'll review that too.
We got to review that, and then Bad Boys 3, man.
And Bad Boys 3 is coming out.
Bad Boys 3 is coming. I'm about to laugh.
Yeah, Will Smith.
We probably should go together.
I wouldn't mind doing that too.
Yeah, we probably should go together.
I think it's funny because that's one of the movies too that you could tell, but you can hella tell that like Martin Lawrence is trying to act like his character again, and Will Smith just slides right into it.
Oh yeah.
Will Smith. It's cool to see that, bro.
It is.
Yeah, well, if you guys like to see more Star Wars content or anything, just comment below.
Talk to this guy right here. He'll tell you everything that you need to know about some goddamn Star Wars. I'll tell you that much.
You guys are giving us good views, good likes, good comments on all the Star Wars videos I've done so far. So yeah, if you guys want to hear more, let us know, man. I think the next one we might do in the future is probably just like a Mandalorian one, and then after that, we'll just go back to our regular shit. But yeah. All right, until the next time, guys, that voice, may the Force be with you always. Yeah.